May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from harm. May all beings love life. May all beings awaken. Welcome to another Cuke Audio mini podcast. I pray that you and yours are safe and comfortable, free from economic hardship, and able to get out and do whatever it is you want within the limitations of the universal precept of do as little harm as possible. So today we've got another memory of Shunryu Suzuki Roshi from the Haiku Zendo Chronicles. And as you know, the Haiku Zendo is where Shunryu Suzuki gave the Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind lectures in Los Altos, south of San Francisco. So today's brief memory of Shunryu Suzuki from the Haiku Zendo Chronicles is from Peg Anderson. Ah, yes. My first personal conversation with Suzuki Sensei was after Zazen, probably my second sitting. Sensei, I said, I feel as if, at heart, I am an obaku of the activity school of Zen. Said Suzuki, sitting has nothing to do with it. When he first came to my house, I showed him some of my old and treasured tea bowls. Then when it was time to prepare tea, I said, we will use a homemade tea bowl. Ah, yes, said Sensei. Homemade is best. Then when I took him home, as he got out of the car, he said, I've had a good time, such a good time. A real human being, expressing his thanks with joy and mirth, no long face. Another time we sat on my living room floor looking at an old Chinese statue of Fugen carved in soapstone. Fugen's expression is delightful, quizzical, and mischievous, but warm, as if to see through all one's humbug. Suzuki Roshi was like a child who has found a fascinating beetle. He held it, felt it, turned it around, then, setting it back on its pedestal, he mimicked the posture and expression, raising his finger and pretending to speak for the mischievous Fugen, saying, How now? How now? I will never forget Suzuki's impish expression with his spirited, How now? Well, thank you, Peg Anderson. I've got a great interview with her on Cuke.com. Long time ago. Gosh, she might have been in her 90s when I interviewed her. She might have been the oldest member of that group. But I don't know all the members. I didn't know all the members of the group. She's the oldest one I knew. Yeah, really interesting woman. The way she told that story here, she told it to me, I think, a little better because after Zazen here, and the way she tells it here, she says, I feel at heart I am an obaku of the activity school of Zen. I wonder about that. Obaku, the activity school of Zen? Maybe she got that from her teacher, Hasegawa. And then Suzuki says, sitting has nothing to do with it. The way she told it to me, she said to him that she didn't feel that Zazen would be her path. I mean, she was into tea ceremony, had studied with Hasegawa, very, very highly respected teacher of tea ceremony and other Japanese arts. who taught some at Sokoji, I believe, before Suzuki arrived. And he was down, he might have been involved with Stanford. I think he might have been involved some with the American Academy of Asian Studies, too. So she was a student of his. So I don't know, I know about the Obaku school of Zen. I've been to their main temple in Japan and met some Obaku monks and spent a little time with them, and I enjoyed it. They took me to the home of Uchiyama Roshi. I never met Uchiyama when I lived in Japan. I'm sorry. He couldn't come join us that day because he wasn't feeling well. That's too bad. So the way Peg told it to me was she told Suzuki that she didn't see zazen as her practice. She saw the way of activity of the arts, and that's when Suzuki said, well, sitting has nothing to do with it. What a wonderful answer to her, and what a wonderful thing to contemplate. I remember once Richard Baker saying, all the Buddhas laugh at someone who depends on zazen. That's a sort of a koan, I think, for a lot of us involved with Zen, especially the Shunryu Suzuki lineage, which emphasized sitting so much and zazen so much. I mean, frequently people would ask him questions, what should I do? He'd say, zazen, sitting. Somebody asked him, how can I thank you for all that you've done for me? He said, practice zazen. But it makes total sense to me, him saying sitting has nothing to do with it. That is boilerplate Shunryu Suzuki teaching, both sides. Sitting, but it's not like something to be attached to. It's not really doing anything. It's just being there. So being there in whatever you're doing is not the form sitting that we're worshiping. Anyway, I think you get it. So, thank you. This has been a Cuke Audio mini podcast. I'm DC Puba of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, coming to you from sleepy Sanur with Doggett Bandita, Feline Kuchita, and dear lovely Katrinka. Wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.